We are here tonight to discuss the Police Service of Scotland, almost at the first year's anniversary. Some things we got right as a service. Some things we got wrong as a service.
Yes, there are things that we haven't got right, but by and large it's been a monumental change, and in reality very little in terms of the service we deliver to the public has changed. I think it's important that the public hears that the Police Service of Scotland has been a success.
We've reduced the number of senior officers, and by that I mean the force executives. That has saved money, but more than saving money, it's provided a far greater focus on getting things right, and decision making chain is far shorter. So I think that's been a big success.
What we've seen is crime continue to fall in Scotland, and the police service that you get if you dial 999 or 101 still being the same as you got before.
What we call protective services, that's all of the fancy gizmos, the horses, the helicopters, the specialist firearms officers. We've now spread that right across the country, and we're getting, in my mind, a far better service there. I know within Dundee, where I work, I can expect far better service than I did in the past. It's far easier to get these resources round about.
I think it's a testament to how poor the Police Service of Scotland was at IT when he classed a horse as a gizmo. Strong points of view are always expressed at political conferences, and it is important that we listen to the strong points of view and pass them on to those that are decision makers in the police service and indeed in government.
We need a much more local focus. We need to get back to community policing. We need much better consultation with local authorities and local communities, and we need proper local accountability.
I know there have been some hiccups about getting officers to community meetings, but my experience is that that is being addressed up and down the country. Certainly here in Edinburgh it's been addressed with a change in shift patterns even to make sure officers are attending community meetings.
My concern is that once you close the police counter, is that not a precursor to closing the police station altogether and centralising the police in a bigger centre of population, for example in my area in Perth?
There was one we closed which had only 3 or 4 people other than the postman visiting it per week, yet we were paying for a member of staff to keep that open. And it's a member of police staff, not a police officer, and if they're off sick or there's no one else there, the police officers have to come back in from doing what we all want them to do, being out on patrol and out in our communities to service that desk. I would rather they were out engaging with the public in high streets, at joint points with councils and other public agencies, and making sure they're really visible.
We're missing a uniform presence within our streets, and I think we as a society need to think a lot more about how we get that uniform presence on our streets and how we support that.
In the first year, we've saved £63 million from the budget of policing in Scotland. We're going to have to save some more.
The world has changed. The amount of money that needs to be saved across our society is enormous, and it is only right and proper that the police service is expected to play its part in that. And we see the alternative approach that's been taken in England and Wales, where there is a massively demoralised police service, where about 14,000 police officers are being lost, and their terms and conditions of police officers have been eroded, and police officers feel really put upon as a consequence. I think it's a massive testament to the women and men in the Police Service of Scotland that we have been able to go through such enormous change and still continue to deliver a world-leading first-class police service to the communities in Scotland.